What were you struggling with before you joined our program back in June of 2024?
So I was struggling, especially with the exercises. I had no idea what was right in terms of the intensity or what to do. I had no idea about all of these exercises. Like I could go on an app like Train Heroic or something where you have already like all of the exercises predefined, and I could go through them, but I had no idea what to do, what would be like a full workout or how to structure the workout, how many sets, how many reps you do, how much you rest in between. Because I was going in the internet, I was finding things which were mostly aligned, but not exactly the same. So I didn't know what to do exactly. Kind of like I had too many clocks, so I didn't know what time it was exactly, right? You know what time it is exactly because you have too many clocks. You need one clock to know the time.
And there's a
Yeah.
lot of different clocks out there, right? That tell you different times on social media.
Yeah, too many. And I mean, I guess all of them are right in their way, but they can't all be right at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, I know there's a
Yeah.
lot of noise out there and can be honestly really overwhelming to know exactly what to do and then also what actually applies to you based on your goals and your preferences and your schedule. And that's really
hmm
where that individualized approach really comes into play, right? And then before you joined the program, Alvaro, were you skeptical at all about anything?
I was skeptical about the results. Kind of seems like that you have to put in a lot of work and be very, very perfect with your perfect or and consistent. So both. I mean, it was not the case. I realized that the biggest part about everything is the nutrition. So what I eat. Even right now, I don't have the time, and I have not been going to the gym for a couple months now, and still my body is still not going big again
Hmm.
because I have the nutrition in check. Because for me, what I've learned, the number one learning that I'm taking with me is the nutrition part. So being aware of what I'm eating, and so learning basically the macros, because we all know that, okay, yeah, you have to eat iron, you have to eat vitamins, you have to eat all of these things, but the three big macros, fat, carbs, protein, and how important they are, and how you should always prioritize protein because the other two are way too frequent. So you don't need to try to eat carbs or fats really in this world. So you need to really to push for protein. This is what I'm taking with me, how to nurture myself, my body, and what to eat. And this way, it doesn't mean that I don't eat like junk food or I have an ice cream every now and then, like a chocolate ice cream, but I know what I'm doing. I know that, okay, then if I'm eating this ice cream now, then later maybe I can maybe remove the rice on the chicken, for example, plain chicken breast with sauce instead of rice and chicken, for example. For me, nutrition is the most important. It is also what is keeping me now not losing the gains, because I know how much I have to eat and what I have to eat. Also the balance and when to allow me myself a treat and when not to. And this is key.
I think that's such a powerful habit that you started to really develop throughout this program, right? It's like knowing exactly not only the importance of nutrition, but then actually being able to monitor all throughout this crazy kind of season you've been through, right? With your personal life. On that note, you said before joining you were a bit skeptical about just having to put in a lot of effort, but then you mentioned didn't really require as much effort, or what did you kind of mean by that?
What I mean is that if you want to have visible results, I mean like a transformation of your body, like lose fat in amounts that will make you visibly leaner or grow muscle in amounts that, that will make you visible stronger. Not only if you are actually stronger, if you can lift more, but, in ways that people will notice that it will be visible. So I thought that in order to achieve that you had to do a lot of training for a long time and very consistent. In reality, you have to be consistent, but it's not that much. As long as you do things right, you
Mm.
can really achieve a visible transformation with few months, like 3-4 months is enough to start really seeing things. You don't need a year or 2 years to get shredded. I mean, maybe to get shredded from like that body to shredded, yeah, maybe a year, 2 years. But if you just want to tone yourself, grow your muscles a little bit, lose fat, yeah, a few months is more than enough. I didn't think that was possible. I thought like, getting strong and getting that type of body where you are lean and your muscles are showing, but maybe without being too big, but just showing, that would take a year. And in reality, maybe it takes half a year at most. If you are consistent and if you are doing things right, of course, big if.
Very big if, right? Because a lot of people will say like, oh, it took me years to get in shape, but they don't tell you is that they were inconsistent, they were on and off with their routine. But yeah,
Correct.
like you said, Viral, if you're actually on top of it, you have the accountability, you got the systems and the programming in place, you can see some pretty awesome results in a pretty short time span. So yeah, I think that's also a powerful thing to kind of realize that, okay, if I have this dialed in, I can get there pretty quickly, right? As long as you actually follow it consistently, like you said. What was kind of like the biggest breakthrough that you experienced all throughout this year of us working together?
At first, I was doing exercises at home. Then I changed to the gym. That was the breakthrough for me because I think I did wrong. Starting with body weight exercises, I don't think it's good, especially in the beginning when you are really not strong at all. Because body weight is body weight. Like you cannot change it. A push up, if your body weight is high, a push up is going to be very much harder than if your body weight is lower. But in the gym, you can put more weight, less weight. So you can put exactly the amount of weight you need. Gym exercises tend to be more focused on the muscle group or the muscle that you are training, as opposed to body weight exercises that tend to be more holistic. That like when you do push-ups, it's the chest and the triceps, but also a little bit of this and that. So for me, the breakthrough was when I went to the gym, and then I started seeing that I can increase the weight maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every mesocycle, maybe I can increase the weight a little bit, and then I actually get stronger. This thing that was so hard when I started, now, okay, now I can just do it, and I'm fine. For me, it was also very important to lose the fear of the gym, like seeing all of the gym bros in the gym. Like I would feel like they're looking at me, like thinking, he doesn't know, he's doing it wrong. No. But in reality, nobody cares about anybody. Nobody's even looking at anybody. So yeah, it's just the psychological part of it was very strong for me in the beginning. And when I overcame that part, then it became, it's just like brushing your teeth. You wake up in the morning, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, you go to the gym, you do this, you do that, and then dawn, it's like a routine, brushing your teeth basically. You don't even think about it. You just do it because it's what you do, it's what you have to do.
Like a habit, right?
Yeah, exactly. A habit.
And I think once anything turns into a habit, achieving your goals is just like it'll be an autopilot, right? It's just like keeping your teeth nice and clean. Whatever other habits you have, it's just you don't even think twice about it, right? It's like hopefully you are at a stage now where you don't have to think twice about eating a healthy meal or drinking enough water or getting your steps in, doing a workout, right? Because it's just kind of like part of your identity. It's part of your lifestyle, which is ultimately like the biggest goal that we've set for everyone in this program, right? But I think it's interesting what you said there in terms of your biggest breakthrough, where you notice just a lot better and quicker results once you actually did workouts at the gym compared to home workouts.
Yeah, because at home I was always feeling that something was too hard or that I was not doing it hard enough or something, because a lot of the body weight workouts included, for example, push-up variations. And push-ups can be fun, but especially in the beginning when you are not so strong, they can get hard, and they can get very, very hard if you do too many of them. So for me, I was in that situation where I was doing the push-ups, and then maybe the first variation, like the normal push-ups, and then the incline push-ups, and then the pike push-ups. By the last exercise, I was so tired and I couldn't just take it anymore. And that had a psychological impact on me. Like I wasn't strong enough, or like I wasn't doing it right. I didn't exactly know how to do it properly. Like, am I even doing it properly? But I was checking on the videos on the internet. I seem to be doing properly. Bodyweight exercises are easier to do wrong. So the form is harder on body weight exercises because you need to control your own body and put it on the right places, instead of like a gym machine where you just like stand and you're back against the seat or through the handles. It's more like it takes you by the hand in a way.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. And it is a bit easier just psychologically too, to
Yeah.
if you're in the gym, just adding more weight if you can, or adding another rep compared to, just with your body weight. Even if your weight fluctuates a lot, maybe that could make a minor difference. But what did you experience were the specific results that you experienced in this program?
So what I'm really proud of is that I lost a lot of weight. So I used to be on 85 kilos and I was visibly chubby. Maybe not fat, but maybe a bit chubby, like a dad body or something like that. Right now, I only have a belly when I'm bloated.
I do too. Everyone does.
But when I'm not bloated, I look at myself in the mirror. Like I was like, I'm happy with my body. I like what I see. Okay, I may not have like big muscles or like a six pack or anything, but I see the abs are there. Even if they're not strong like a six pack, I see they are there. And also like my delts and biceps and triceps. Okay, they are not big, but I'm proud of what they are, and they are there, and they certainly make me feel strong. One of the things that I realized is that my daughter, I was holding her, it started to feel like she was getting lighter. And kids, for kids, it's the opposite, they get heavier. They're supposed to get heavier and bigger, but my daughter, she was getting lighter. Like I couldn't explain, like, no, she's growing like normal, like any kid. She's growing normally. To me, she felt like she's getting lighter just because I was getting stronger than she was getting heavier.
No, that's the biggest flex, I would say.
Yeah, pretty much. It was a really big flex, yeah. And right now, all I want to stay with is with the knowledge of the exercise, of the workout part, that I can restart it anytime I want. So as soon as I will have peace and stability and regularity, I still have the gym membership, so I can go out again any day. And I also have some machines at home, some barbells and dumbbells. I know what to do with them, what exercises I can do to make a full workout, and any day I can just restart it. And also on the nutrition part, I have dialed it in, so I know what I have to eat, what my diet needs to be, and I'm following it. And also I'm giving that to my daughter by example, because she doesn't eat the same foods as me. There's so many food that she calls, oh, daddy's food. This is for daddy. This is just daddy's food. But one day, just because she sees me eating it, one day she'll remember, maybe she'll try herself, and maybe, she'll have a diet similar to my own, because that's what most of the time, that's what children end up with.
Exactly.
Having a diet similar to that of the parents. If I'm happy with my diet, then I'll be happy if my daughter will have this diet. Oh, and something you said, maybe not now, but I think in your social media, that you need to stick to 5 to 10 meals. That's something that I've been trying to do. I'm always eating the same things because I'm lazy. I don't want to cook complicated dishes or or spend half an hour, 1 hour in the supermarket finding this, finding that, finding all of the ingredients for something. No, I try to choose, I've chosen maybe 5, 7 meals, and I always eat those on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. Like mincemeat, like bolognese with some pasta, chicken with soya sauce, they're a little bit different with veggies, burgers, sausages, and then you can add any like sort of veggies or veggie to them. I've chosen these meals which are like focused on protein. Then I can be a little bit free with the sauce within reason, and then I put a lot of veggies to the side. This keeps me full and it's healthy. I can eat just that for the rest of my life and be happy. Of course, 80-20. So this is all of my life, 80% of the time. And then that 20% of the time, okay, it's when I go out on a date or to the restaurant, or when I'm driving and I just want to stop in KFC because it's by the roadside and it's convenient, or the day when someone comes over and we order a pizza, whatever.
You are speaking my language. I love everything you just said there, right? Especially with those 5 to 10 meals. The only reason I talk highly of that is because we tend to do that automatically anyway without even thinking about it, right? There's only a handful of breakfasts that we will typically eat and lunches and dinners. And if you could just kind of like rotate between some meals that you actually enjoy eating, it just takes all the guesswork out of it, right? It's like you said, when you go grocery shopping, you don't have to get a big list, you know exactly what to get, and you can just eat it on repeat and then actually focus on more important things in your life compared to like, what am I going to eat for breakfast today, right? So I think that's the biggest like life hack anyone could actually do. Super awesome to hear that you're obviously happy with your physique. Your strength has increased as well. Your habits also are amazing. You're dialed in. And one thing I just want to mention to you, Alvaro, is that despite going through, if you take a break from the gym, muscle memory, a real thing, and you'll notice gaining your strength back will be a lot quicker than it did to actually gain it in the first place. So even if you do take a break, Alvaro, after the first couple like weeks or maybe like a month or two after getting back into it, you'll be back to where you used to be, if not better. So don't be too concerned about like losing muscle, because you can gain it back really quickly. Last thing here, who would you I guess recommend this program to, or who do you think this would be a good fit for?
You need to have the will to transform your lifestyle, not only your body. So it's not about how you look, even though that's also on the line, but your lifestyle. You need to make deep changes to your nutrition, so to what you eat, where, how you eat, and also to your routine. So you need to fit the gym somewhere in your routine, which is easy, but for many people it can be daunting at the beginning, because especially if you're not in the habit of going to the gym, then for the first few times you need to think about doing it, and that takes a lot of mental energy. You need someone who is willing to commit to spending 1.5 hours, 2 hours per week in the gym, and someone who wants to transform their body, someone who maybe doesn't have the healthiest of habits for whatever reason, and that they are in a position to improve, and that they have the will to improve, because of course you need to want it. If you don't want it, there's nothing you can do, or anybody can do.
100%. So it doesn't really matter like male, female, job, family, kids. If they have the will to actually change and they have some extra time, you would say anyone would be a good fit.
Yeah. Extra time, especially in the beginning. For me, in the beginning, I had to force myself to do the workouts. Remember about this, remember about measuring your food and all that. So it takes a little bit of time, or I wouldn't say time, but it takes mental energy away from you. That's something to keep in mind. Yeah. If you're willing to put in with that for the time it takes to make that an automatic habit, then I think that's all you need.
Alvaro, thanks so much for all the feedback. I really do appreciate it. And then I guess my last kind of question is, just with all that we've kind of been through together, based on your experience, was there anything that maybe you would have liked to have gone differently, or maybe something we could have done a bit better to help you better? Anything that comes to mind for you?
I think you've been pretty adaptive and understanding of everything that has happened and all of my needs. First I had to do the body weight workouts, then I switched to gym, and then I switched to home workouts, but not body weight, like with barbell and dumbbells. So I've been through at times a bit of everything, but I think you've done great. You've explained to me everything.